Children, the religious fantasy of Jonah and the whale. The great Lord was sitting in his rosy rocking chair one hallelujah morning when he observed by a great body of water a little mortal about 5'2". And the Lord dumped the mortal, and he called for Gabriel, and Gabe put down his horn, and he swung with the book, and the Lord flipped the pages A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and it was Jonah getting his kids on the beach saying, man, sure is groovy out here on this here beach. Man's got a lot of room to move and groove in the sunshine. Everything is melody and fire. Now, when the great Lord has something he must have done upon the earth, he calls upon his favorite children to do it. So the Lord put the sound on Jonah. He said, I dig you, Jonah. I dig you, Jonah. I dig you, Jonah, because Jonah is the Lord's sweet boy. And Jonah said, man, where's all that jazz music coming from anyway? Sounds like 72 jazz bands jumping off in here. Makes me want to dig it and wiggle. I know them seagulls out carrying on like that. The canaries and the whippoorwills going to get... Ooh, I got the craziest feeling all over my body. Feels like I want to stretch my wings and good morning, Lord. And the Lord say, morning, Jonah. Say, Jonah, I got a little favor I'd like. Jonah say, ain't that groovy? Out of 6 million cats for the Lord to put his finger on, he said he dig Jonah. Ain't that groovy? And the Lord say, Jonah, I want you to cross the Red Sea and put the message on the Israelites. They're squaring up over there. And Jonah said, Lord, you don't mean this here big pool, do you, Lord? I look at all them whales. Well, you must mean some little old Jonah-sized pool, don't you, Lord? And the Lord said, Jonah, put your nose into the wind, and the message will come to you. And Jonah put his great nose in the north wind. It was not there. He put it in the west wind. It was not there. He put it in the north wind. It was not there. But when he put it in the hallelujah south wind, it was there. So Jonah traveled for 22 days and 15 minutes. Until he came to a great cathedral-like group of trees, lifting their glorious arms up to heaven in supplication of the Master. And down at the bottom of these giant sequoias, Jonah saw growing a strange green vine. And he said, just like Brigham Young, this is it. And he sat down beside it, and he observed of it. And he admired of it. And he plucked of it. And he rolled of it, and he selected of it, and he swung of it. And he said, where's that full pool of water the Lord wanted me to dig? Look out, here comes Jonah, and he's red as the day is long. And boom, he cut a giant V straight through the breast of the waves. And suddenly, fatigue hit Jonah in the back of his soul. And he lay his great body back in the water, and he's low under the waves, and Morpheus is goofing on his eyebrows, and sleep came to Jonah. And he slept for 12 hours and 15 seconds. And when he awoke, what did he see? I'll tell you what he saw. He saw the whale. And what did he say when he saw the whale? He said, get me from this scene immediately. And the whale said, every time I stick my nose out of this pond, I see some crazy jazz. This is the bending end. And Jonah said, what you mean bending end, Mr. Whale? He said, what do you know about that? He talked too. What you know? He said, of course I can talk, Mr. Whale. Don't you dig the marine news? Ain't you hip to what's going on right here in these waters? And the whale said, hey now, take it easy there, boy. He said, ain't no taking it easy, Mr. Whale. It's a big pond. You groove your way, I'll groove mine. I'll swoop the scene and dig you later. And the whale said, hey now, boy, here's a little something from me. You miles away from no place. You gonna hit me, the king of the dip, what the lick is? I got a good mind to gobble you up. And Jonah said, well, don't you do that, because if you do, I'll knock you in your most delicate gear. And the whale said, that'll do it. And boom, he swallowed Jonah. Now here's Jonah, slipping and sliding from one end of this great sea mammal to the other. Fear and terror inside. He can't go out the front end, he's afraid to go out the back end. And he fell down on these great big blubbery rugs, and a piteous sound came from Jonah. He said, Lord, Lord, can you dig me here in this fish? And the Lord said, don't worry, Jonah, I got you covered. Jonah said, man, hey, that Lord sure got a crazy sense of humor. Maybe that's why I dig the cat so much. Say, he's got me covered. He's got me surrounded. And the Lord say, Jonah, reach into your watertight pocketbook and take out one of those cigarettes you got from the great tree, and courage will return to you. So now we see Jonah deep inside this gigantic whale, smoking this strange cigarette, watching the pistons driving the great lever, expanding, expanding, and finally the whale say, Jonah? And Jonah say, what is it, fish? I say, what is it, fish? I say, you got a new captain on this mess now, Mr. Fish. I ain't on the outside no more, I's inside now. And the whale say, Jonah, what in the world is you smoking in there? Here I thought I was off the Flippity Islands. I'm 2 minutes from the Panama Canal. This jazz has got to go. And Jonah said, what you care what I'm smoking in here? I'm the captain of this mess now. I done explained to you. And the whale said, Jonah, what are you doing stomping all over the engine room like that? You're getting the ride for nothing. Why don't you just sit down and cool yourself? Jonah said, I'll stomp all over this engine room as long as I want. What's this wheel here? He said, Jonah, don't be messing with my wheel there, boy. That's my delicate gear. He said, what's this lever here? He said, no, Jonah, that's my full speed ahead lever. Jonah, look out, the rock on the right, Jonah, the rock on the right. Jonah said, cool. He said, it ain't cool, Jonah. We in the shallow water. Jonah said, that's all I need to know. And bam, he hit the whale's sneeze meter and blew himself out on the cool, groovy sands of serenity. Which only goes to prove, as Confucius say, if you get to it and you cannot do it, there you jolly well are, aren't you?